Well, hopefully it lasts.
Did you just do the budget?
Yeah.
Well, 5 o'clock, meeting to order. Do we have any additions to the agenda?
I think you do back there.
That's public comment.
No, it's public comments, okay.
Do we have to say who's here?
No, I'm here, so no.
Oh, gotcha.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Alright. Public comment. We've got one.
Well, I think you know why I'm here. I want to thank you for listening to me for 2 meetings on the 8,000 gallon issue that I have, and I know others have an issue with it. And we'd just like to remind you, if you could, please consider eliminating the 8,000 or reducing it to 1,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, on to business. Review approval of the March 19th, 2026 Finance Committee meeting minutes. Does anybody have any questions, comments on those? Make a motion to approve it?
Make a motion. Approve. Second.
Alright, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, approved. Utility rates, so encompassed in this is, did you guys get the stuff that Jen sent you from me?
Yeah. No.
Did you get it? I can give you a copy.
Have a copy as well.
Alright, yeah. Being give Mark a copy. So, basically what I went through and did in like painstaking detail, was first of all, I made a projection for where our water fund is going to be over the next 10 years. And basically, with where we're at, I modeled out what our fund balance is going to be, given the fact that the water fund's running at a deficit. If we do nothing, in 10 years, we're going to have negative $718,000 in the water fund. Keeping in mind the comments we've gotten about the minimum charges, the proposal that I'm doing here is basically it's going to put an infrastructure charge on the bills, and it's going to eliminate the minimum. So the purpose of that is to more closely be more close analog to what it's actually costing the village to maintain that infrastructure. So the marginal water rate will actually go down, but the amount of money that we collect into the water fund will go up. And I put in planned increases where if we start at this level and we increase it 10% per year for the next 10 years, the water fund still runs at a deficit for the next several years, but by 2035, we'll have a positive balance again. So I modeled this out pretty painstakingly. I do think that this number is actually kind of conservative, so I think the reality is going to be a little bit better than that, but I think that's the best we can reasonably do without just like jacking rates up to the moon right now and just everybody's gonna kill us if we do that. So, any thoughts, questions on that?
I got a question. Is there any 2 people households there? I don't get a water bill, so I'm trying to gauge.
Well, there's lots of one, yeah, Frank's
Frank's
one
a
of them.
2-person.
So what is your average water bill on without garbage?
He's a minimum bill 8,000 gallons.
Yeah,
Right. But I mean, what is it?
That's
right
with
now?
garbage.
$200
$230.
roughly, yeah.
$234 is the current minimum bill.
I think all of us
Okay, so the minimum.
which is 8,000 gallons regardless of. how
Cause I did it
much
based
you funded
on my household. And without garbage, it's about 190 a quarter.
Even currently, or?
If I was to pay, doing 500 gallons per week.
Per month, per
Per
Quarter.
times-
Per
Well, I
quarter.
do 500 gallons per week, so
Oh, I
you figure 6,000 per quarter. I'm based on these numbers, on average about 190 without garbage.
So you're still under the 8,000 minimum, or?
Yeah, cause she is as well, so. So yeah, so I mean, the numbers look like, again, other than the 10% per year increase.
Well, Jim, what's my bill without sewer for four-person household, just as a gauge?
Stanley.
And keep in mind it's without sewer.
Oh, without garbage, no, without sewer.
Without sewer.
Without sewer, your average bill is around $290.
Is
that
that
with
garbage?
And in the
if you were-
summer, it's higher.
Yeah.
But that's with garbage though.
Yes.
With
Yeah,
garbage,
garbage
no
is only
sewer.
$65.
Right, so
Garbage
it'd be
is
What's
not.
230
sewer add to it?
Well, for your bill, it would be a,
$53 a quarter, somewhere around there.
got a higher usage.
So he's going over the 8,000 then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His average bill's between 27 and 3,500 thousand per quarter. And that's going back to June of 24.
You got a lot of vehicles.
Huh?
You got a lot of
Bottling that
vehicles to
stuff up
wash.
and selling it cheap?
No, my kids know what multiple showers are.
Yeah. Jeez.
Can't they just go out and soak in the pool?
When we get it filled.
Okay.
Yeah, so it seems like the numbers work.
May I ask what the infrastructure number is that you're projecting, or
So the water infrastructure charge will be $47.73 per quarter first year. Sewer infrastructure charge will be $54.47 per quarter first year. And that number is less than what I'm projecting that the village will actually spend on maintaining the infrastructure, which is why there's a scheduled increase every year until we get to the point where we're actually breaking even on it, which will take 8 years. So that's about where we're at right now. We're pretty deep in the hole on the water fund. The sewer fund is okay. There's a scheduled increase in the sewer fund that is much, much smaller than the water fund.
if this passes, whenever it comes to vote, can a letter go out in the bills explaining
Yeah.
how you arrived at it?
I would anticipate we would do that, and also in the proposal that I put in here, we wouldn't schedule the increase until the first of next year. So it gives people a lot of time to recognize that there's a scheduled increase coming.
So our next opportunity to put it with the newsletter would be in July, if the information's ready. Then it would be October after that.
And when is the garbage contract coming due?
December of 2027 is our end of our current contract. So that's next summer's.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions, comments on this?
The infrastructure charges. You've got 1,000 gallon minimum water bill, water and sewer. Then the infrastructure charge that goes on each bill that goes out, correct?
Correct. The infrastructure charges per quarter. I actually don't have a minimum water use at all. So the infrastructure charge is meant to cover our costs of infrastructure. So like the cost of having the lines and maintaining the lines. The water charge is meant to cover our marginal cost of providing the water.
But for billing purposes, you have to have a usage,
A minimum?
a minimum usage, yeah. Which for our systems and the water meters is 1,000 gallons minimum. We
Okay.
read by the 1,000 gallons.
Okay. Well, if that's what the meters can do, then that's what we're gonna set it at.
So,
So that would mean someone that only used 1,000 gallons of water, which there's only a couple of those people, it would be $1.86 for a quarter for
Yes.
water charge and $2 and a penny for sewer on their
so
bill.
what is the other charge that's already on the water bills? Water and sewer bills, it's
Debt
like
reduction.
$60.
Debt
Yeah,
reduction.
That's
Debt
debt
reduction.
reduction. That's paying our IEPA loans from projects that are complete. We have 2 20-year loans.
Okay.
And then there's a $6.36, it's not showing on here, per quarter maintenance service fee, and maintenance fee, and that is the water meter fee.
So, is that $60 offset by, like, I don't have sewer, I just have water? Does
Debt
that change,
reduction.
does that
No, you
rate
pay
change?
both.
Everybody with water pays the debt reduction.
Okay, so it's off of water.
The only people that don't pay towards it are the garbage only. The subdivision that just has garbage, they are on well and septic out there.
So if somebody's out of town for a quarter, if there's a snowbird, their bill would be like $50 for water. Cause it would be the infrastructure plus
Right.
Debt reduction.
$5 or whatever.
No, it would be at 1,000 gallons, it'd be $234.60. They're getting debt reduction.
No, on the new plan.
Well, but yeah,
But for
That's
water.
included,
oh,
though.
for water, it would be $1.86 and $2.01 for sewer.
But
Plus the infrastructure fees,
Yeah.
and then debt reduction, meter fee, and garbage.
So are you looking at a minimum bill right now?
For
So right
1,000.
now, with the minimum bill, if somebody were out of town for a quarter, the minimum water,
Is 8,000 gallons.
right, so what would
And that
that,
would be, the minimum bill at 8,000 gallons currently is $234 with everything in
But
it.
for
Water's
the-
$45.12.
45,
for the
that's
quarter.
what it was running. So it would actually be more expensive for those people, for the water portion of it, which is what we need. I mean, we need to make more money in the water fund.
The average bill will go up. There's no
Yes.
getting around that.
Right. And it has to. I mean,
Yeah.
it has to in order to,
Yeah, because the water fund's really underwater.
right.
So if you used 8,000 gallons with the new new pricing, the total bill currently is an 8,000 minimum for $234. A new bill would be around $320. I mocked up some actual bills. I'm not going off of notes. It's just missing the meter maintenance fee.
How did you come up with the water fees? Let's just say the water fee, the infrastructure fee.
So I looked at our yearly expenses that are attributable to the water system, and I calculated out which ones are capital and which ones are marginal. And it was approximately 70-30, which feel free to double check my work. But about 70% of our costs are in capital costs, and about 30% of our costs are in marginal costs of actually providing the water. 70% of that is running the lines and maintaining the lines. About 30% of that is actually the marginal water that we're producing out of the wells. And so, on average, it'll be about a 70-30 split on how much water we're selling versus how much we're charging people for the infrastructure.
And then,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean
Go
to.
ahead.
So on the water taps, you've got it by pipe size. So could it just be one flat fee? We don't get a lot of water taps. From what the guys said, most of the pipes gonna be the same size, the majority of the pipes the same size going to the meter. 'Cause
Okay.
could we just do one flat rate? From a system perspective, you can't key all this in there.
Yeah, my thinking
It's a
there.
flat rate for water taps and sewer taps, and it's one flat rate.
Right. I mean, my thinking there was, if we got new development in Shabbona, and we had mainly it's more about the sewer connection, but I'm sizing the sewer connection based on the water line. So, you know, if we had to size up the connections, then that would cost us more. So that was my thinking there, and making it more expensive for the larger.
That would be
Sizes.
marginal, that cost size ended up. Be very marginal. Once you're there, the bigger the pipe, you're not putting much money in the bigger pipe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I just
it's
wanted to make
pretty
sure.
marginal, huh?
I just want to make sure, like, if Shabbona does get new development, the village of Shabbona doesn't lose money giving them, like, running the lines to give that new development water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't, but again, I don't think the line size matters.
I would just go 5 and 5. Just make it easy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, 10,000 for water and sewer taps.
I think,
I don't know what it would cost the village exactly, and really, this is me just like kind of.
But all we do is the
Yes,
main
ma'am.
line. We're the water main, the developer would be doing all the service lines.
and that's in the subdivision ordinance that they put the water main in. If you got a subdivision,
Right.
I don't know what else you're thinking as far as development, but
If somebody's just building a house on an empty lot, then we already have it in the street. So it would be,
It would just be tapping their service line into it if they were adding, if there's no service line existing.
Do we charge for that
And
now?
we're, 2,500 is what we have now. Cause we're not doing the work, they are.
well, maybe we should be on the lower side then. If in the subdivisions, developer's already paying for it, then, you know,
Well,
what does it actually cost the village?
I think that's a pretty standard rate. I think Waterman, I think they get $4,500 for sewer.
Yeah.
So I think
I'm charging $47.50 for right now, right?
4,500.
4,500.
2,500 and 4,500 are the current ones.
Okay. Do we think we need to increase the charge for water? Because it doesn't make sense to
hookups?
charge
No,
more.
I don't think so. I think a single price, it doesn't matter the size of the water line going to the house, it's gonna be 3/4 inch or 1 inch.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't be any bigger than that usually. If there was say an apartment type building, you'd probably go to a 2 inch.
Yeah, but then do we want to charge more? Or
They're
is
still
it,
providing all the pipe.
yeah, or is it,
And if it's an oversized meter, the property owner pays for the meter.
right? Okay, well, I mean, we can I can change this, just keep it the same as it is.
I think we're good at the same and just one, whether it's 3/4 inch or maybe 2 inch, just one flat fee for the size, you know,
Yeah,
we're covered there, so.
okay. All right.
What's the water infrastructure charge out of town?
So that is for people who are not within village limits, correct?
Except for there is no infrastructure out of town that we would be replacing.
Right.
They are running to our main,
Okay.
but if they're out of town, so the main's already ours, and anything from the main to their property's theirs. So there's really not much of an infrastructure charge there.
Okay. So
That's
Or-
basically
I don't know, Frank thinks. that
Indian
there's
and
an-
Preserve, that subdivision over there.
No, that's subdivision. The only out-of-town water we have is the state park. And the rest are in at the state park. And Mullins Grain uses water in 2 different buildings that,
One of them's not in the village limits.
And so those out-of-town properties are responsible for all of the infrastructure in between them and wherever they're tapping into our main.
yes,
Correct.
Okay.
But the main wouldn't go that far if they didn't need it, would it? Or how far
The
does,
main's already there.
main's already
They're
there.
already tapped into it.
how far does the main go north out of town?
It ends at
It
Mullins.
ends in Mullins.
But if there's a problem between the village and there, and it's only there for them, then we have to pay it.
And technically, it should, if we're gonna charge it, it should be the same as the in-town rate, because it already exists there. They've piped to where it ends at the village.
It ends at the village limit.
Okay.
So it's not there for them, it's there because that's
It's
the
the-
way
They
the
piped
infrastructure was.
to it
Right, that's the way
from
the
out of
infrastructure
village
was
We're
limits
just
to
from the
eliminating
beginning,
the out of town.
because it's
Yeah, I mean,
town
it's-
limits.
We may wanna look at the out-of-town water rate to be higher.
How do you justify that?
Because they don't have any infrastructure costs. They don't pay anything into the village for, as far as taxes or water bill, you know, they only pay for water is what we're looking at here.
Yeah, I mean, that marginal property, we are, like, to the extent that we're maintaining the water main, that helps them too. So, you know, I think it would make sense for the rate to be at least the same. If you wanna charge people who are out of town more, you could justify that just by saying they're not paying property taxes to the village, and right now, our property taxes are subsidizing the water system because we're undercharging for water. So, you know, if you wanna be fair to everyone, what I would say is the rate should be higher, but not indefinitely.
It's higher now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it needs to be higher than what it is. Difference between an in-town resident and somebody using the water to run their business per se on the taxpayers of the village. I think the water rate needs to be higher. And quite frankly, we don't know what's gonna go on at the state park or the Indian reservation, whatever you wanna call it. But I think that's been a problem for quite some time, the amount of money, the rate structure we have for the state park. I think it's too low. If they don't like what we charge them, they could drill their own well. They could put their own septic system in.
Yeah. And
And to your point, we are subsidizing the water by doing the water mains and keeping up with our taxes and stuff like that. So I agree with that,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the property tax, our property tax revenues are subsidizing the water fund because some of that water stuff, like, ultimately is coming out of general,
I
so,
get it. So I think it's only fair that you boost
yeah.
out-of-towners for,
We
Water.
we definitely need to look at that.
yeah,
Is the,
absolutely.
So the percentage that the out-of-town charges above the in-town charge is approximately the same as it was before on my proposal.
With the minimum, right?
Yeah, so they're, however much more percentage the out-of-town charges, it's about the same as it was before.
Well, I think what we should do to be fair is whatever the increase of the average is gonna go up, we just push it on them. You know what I mean?
Is that what you have
Or
here?
a higher,
Yeah,
Was
on
it-
top of what they're already paying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what is it, what you have here, water, 1/1 of 27, .00186 per gallon. That must be for in town, and then water out of town,
Is 0.0235.
yeah.
Yeah, so they're already paying whatever percentage more it is, 25%, something like that, 30%.
The water rate is currently.
And I did also, I looked up the rules on that, and we cannot charge out-of-towners like a punitive rate. So we have to be able to justify the rate, otherwise they could sue us. When I was researching the water rates, I did find that.
5.64 is our current per 1,000 gallon water rate, and out of town is 6.4. $6.40. $6.40 is our current out of
Per
town
thousand.
rate
Oh, okay.
per 1,000 gallons.
So what's the current, out of town? 6.4, you said?
$6.40.
Okay. And the in town is 5.
564.
564.
and those two users are probably, well, I don't know if they're both, they're the bigger, some of the bigger users we have.
So like using the state park for an example, in the heat of the summer, they use 144,000 gallons of water. So at the current rate, that would be $921.60. At the new rate, it would be like $10.
Right, okay.
There's where the discrepancy would come in.
Right. Well, I mean, we could theoretically continue charging minimums to the out-of-towners. You know?
I don't think that
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
doesn't matter, because they're never at the minimum. They're always over the minimum. Always.
Yes.
Okay.
But what if we kept the water rates
The lowest
the
the
same?
park ever is in the middle of the winter, they used 25,000 gallons of water. Otherwise, their next lowest is
Is that-
60,000.
I'm surprised they only use 25,000 actually.
The campground's primarily shut down, all the water's shut
Yeah.
down to everything. Or not available to anybody.
Right,
The restaurant's shut down, that gets its own bill.
okay.
So what if we kept the water rates the same and just messed with that infrastructure to make sure that all of the costs were still covered, but the
We need
water
to
rate.
justify infrastructure for out of town, that's the.
No, no, no.
I don't
for
think we have
for-
any infrastructure for the out-of-town people.
But I'm talking about keep the water rates the same for in town and out of town, but then use just making sure that and maybe raise the rates for out of town. I'm just saying to
Well-
reduce it that much.
Well, I was saying we could just leave the rates the same for out-of-towners and just change the rates for the in-towners.
And
So
have the
the out-of-towners wouldn't necessarily receive a cut.
Since there's no infrastructure.
Yeah, like we could just leave the rates where they are for out of town. And then do the
increase.
Yeah, but if everybody else is receiving an $80 increase, they should be getting it with something.
I mean, when I say keep them the same, what I mean is increase them 10% along with everything else.
Right, yeah.
That makes more sense. Because we don't want to be getting less money from out of towners.
Yeah.
See, one of the big problems I see is how much water we pump and how much water we bill for. We gotta get a handle on that.
What do you mean?
I don't see where we know what it costs us to produce a gallon of water and get it to Jan's house.
I don't have the expense sheet in front of me. But, so there's things in there that's like our chemical costs, or that's entirely marginal. So, any chemicals we're using to treat the water, none of that's going to infrastructure, all that's going to marginal water rate. But I don't have the thing in front of me, so I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly. I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly how I calculated that, but please check my work.
Well, I'm not saying that your work's not right, I'm just saying, I don't know what it costs us to produce a gallon of water.
Based on the calculations that I did, what it costs us to produce the gallon of water on the margin is about 30% of our total expenses. Not what we collect, but our expenses, which are higher than what we collect.
And part of that, or a lot of that is, we're pumping more water than we're billing for. By a lot.
And I did put a report in the package for this quarter we just billed.
And the discrepancy there is, like, we have leakage in the system.
Well, we're gonna be looking for that, but I haven't got a handle on that yet. We're looking at a couple million gallons of water a year that we're not billing for, that we're pumping.
A quarter.
A quarter?
Last year it was almost 8 million gallons.
I thought this was,
That's just January. That is just the
got a
billing cycle we
sinkhole
did
somewhere.
the first week of April for
well,
January
we're
through
losing
March.
that much water.
It was 1.954 million gallons difference from billing lower to public works usage report. So that's almost 2 million for one quarter.
And how often are the meters on the pump calibrated? Are they calibrated annually?
Annually.
Wow.
Well, I will say
And
that
prior to this, no one's really dug into those numbers. So,
if that is the case and we're losing that much water, then the amount of money that it costs us to produce a marginal gallon is actually less than what I calculated.
It's less than that, unless you
Yeah.
want to figure your loss.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were in business selling coffee, you'd have to figure your water price and how much coffee you lose.
Right. But right now, given the fact that we're wasting millions of gallons, then we have to recoup that cost. So.
Well, how much are you actually billed for as far as the 1,000 gallons? Let's say you use 1,005 gallon. She says, well, you're billed for 2,000.
Right.
right now,
Anything over
every
1,000.
minimum bill is 8,000 gallons right now. So that's what
Right.
these numbers are off of, because
Okay,
that's
so
how
let's-
the system currently bills.
So let's say they use 8,002 gallon. Are they billed for 9,000?
No. You're not billed for the 1,000 gallons until you're up close. I'd have to ask the guys exactly where that is, but it's somewhere. 1,000 gallons doesn't get billed until you're over 500
The
gallons.
meters just read in 1,000
1,000
gallon
increments.
increments.
Okay, so then you're losing 500 gallon that you're not billing for. If they use 499 gallon above the 8,000, you're losing 499 gallon there.
I'll have to ask Census that question.
I would like to know what the
I would like to know that too. If that's right, then that would account for a lot of discrepancy.
Yeah.
Because somebody told me if you use 2 gallon more than the 1,000, you get billed for the next 1,000.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think the meter's got a,
Okay, these are new meters too from when that person was on the board. So maybe it has changed.
Well, that would make a lot of sense, because if you used 8,998 gallons, and you only got billed for the 8,000 gallons.
Yeah, or
But-
maybe,
Does it mean on the next bill you're getting billed the 1,000 where you left off plus whatever
Right,
you
yeah.
used?
yeah, that's true,
I
because
think we
it's
need
just,
to know.
yeah,
it just
it's
rolls
a rolling
over.
total, so.
No, I get it, but
And on the bills, it does say the meter reading prior was 4,000, the meter reading now is 7,000, so you get, your usage
Yeah.
is 3,000.
So.
I'll ask the question.
Over time, you would expect it to even out to whatever the actual usage was.
And that wasn't one of the things Chris from Test Inc. said to look into. He said we need to look into if there's leaks anywhere when I asked him what the average annual water loss should be. And it should be basically a quarter of what ours is.
We don't have monitoring equipment we can put on the mains?
We've got it, we're not gonna own it, we've got it coming that we can use. Illinois Rural Water will come and help us look at the water mains and see where we're losing water.
Yeah,
if
there's
we're
gotta
losing
be a way
water.
to figure that out.
You know, we lose water when we flush the mains. You know, we flush hydrants, we lose water. So,
The fire department? The fire department doesn't pay for water, right?
no.
Once a year they get a minimum
Okay.
bill.
And
Yeah, they do
that's
get,
not
they
for
do get a bill.
Once a year for,
A minimum.
minimum bill.
They're one of 6 entities that gets an annual bill for just a minimum. Fire department, library, the Mason Lodge.
And are their minimums also 8,000 gallons a quarter? They're almost.
And none of them are-
more than that.
Yeah, and most of them aren't charged for garbage either. So, the Masons, the township building, the
Library,
library, the Lions.
museum.
No, in the 99-year lease, the museum does not pay a utility bill.
Well, so
The
you
village's
lose-
building.
You lose some water there then.
And a lot of those don't have meters, so you don't know at all what their usage is. I think the only one with a meter is the Masons, and it's not reading. So it's on the guy's list to gain access to check it. Not that they use a lot of water there, but it's had the same reading for a decade. And I've been digging into that deeply. 0 readings when we do quarterly reads.
Yeah.
And the guys, that's a lot of meters of, the number of meters got replaced from it, and some of it we've discovered, like so-and-so shut their water off because
so
They had a
without,
pipe
without a
freeze.
meter on those, on the ones, the entities that don't get but an annual bill, how do we know that they don't have
a leak,
a leak?
or they're just leaving the water run.
Yeah,
We don't.
so wouldn't it be money well spent to have that, so at least we could,
Find some of the missing water.
well, not only that, but able to monitor. It's kinda like the houses that we decided with the water main break, that you caught through the village doing the meter reading. Maybe it'd be wise just to put the meters on those to one, help us understand, and if they had a leak.
I don't disagree with that at all.
I mean, I kinda think it'd be money well spent, because what happens if there was a water main break under the fire department floor, but it went out somewhere else and nobody was.
I mean, getting back to if somebody left the tap on or something, there's no way to monitor the sewer usage?
No. The only thing you can monitor is daily flow. You'd have to see it in
Does it have to go somewhere?
what we send out to if it goes into the sewer, per se. It could get into the storm sewer. Then we'd never be able to monitor
Right.
that.
We've also got groundwater going into the
We've also got
sanitary sewer,
groundwater
so
going.
it's like, how do
in.
we know where this water's coming from?
That's why I think it'd be wise to monitor it at the property
Yeah, I agree.
for their intake.
I agree too.
Just a suggestion.
I don't see $2 million a quarter, or $2 million.
No, but I just
It would be something.
like I use the house for
Yeah,
an
if that's
example.
where it turns up. We've got a bathhouse going on.
Yeah.
Leland, I got a question for
Take
you.
a schwitz?
Have you compared how we do our bookwork as far as the water compared to how Waterman does it, or Malta does it, or other small towns about our same size?
A little bit. I mean, most towns kind of do it the same as we're doing it right now.
They do it kind of.
And I've shared a spreadsheet with all that information on it.
What's that?
I've shared a spreadsheet with all that information on it,
Okay.
comparing what the locals or the smaller municipalities are doing for their billing.
Yeah, and most towns' water rates are in the same ballpark as us. We might be a little below average right now.
We are a little below average, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of municipalities now are jacking up water rates to the stratosphere because they're running into the same issues where they have to replace all the lead lines all at once. Like, I think St. Charles just doubled their water rate like overnight. Made everybody mad. So,
I don't, yeah, as far as the budget goes, I don't think the water rates right now today are as important as getting the budget done. I think we really have to look into the water rates. But we've got another month we can do that in, we can go on a little farther with that. But we do need to budget for.
we gotta move on to BI, which is the fire protection charge.
Wait, I got a couple more things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we move on. So, the admin fee for new ownership, is that $50 per bill forever, or is that, how does that work?
That's $50 one time.
Oh, it's a one-time, okay.
So when someone buys a building or a house, it's a $50 flat.
Okay, I didn't know if
Do we
this
do
was
that
going
now?
Tenant,
towards the
yep,
development
tenants.
or something.
New tenants pay the $50 as well.
And then the $150
Delinquency fee.
what do we do right now?
That's 65 at the 45th day if they haven't paid their bill. So they've already gotten a regular bill and a late bill. And this time they got a text message on Wednesdays last week saying, hey, your bill's due by 6 p.m. Friday.
I mean, what is the delinquency fee right now?
$150.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same.
And the one thing I would like to do is that is what would get charged, has gotten charged in the past to somebody who only has garbage. And I'd like to add a delinquency fee for garbage of $30 to stop service and start it back up.
Okay.
I'm sorry, just garbage shouldn't be $150 to stop service and start it back up. It can be more than 30, but it could be 50, but.
I mean, I kind of feel like the fees that we have make sense. There is, if we're paying for admin labor every time there's a switch, so it makes sense to charge for that. If we have to shut off water, you're paying Public Works to do that, so it makes sense to charge for that.
They're at the residence or at least twice, sometimes 3 times if they're on the shut-off list.
Yeah.
We had 3 people Saturday morning that were on the shut-off list.
So we probably have the $150 in labor.
All 3 of them paid that, yeah. Public Works posted notices and then did shut-offs. One of them got the notice and he had it paid online before Public Works probably left his property, including the delinquency fee. The other 2 paid and got their water turned. Their water was turned off and they got it turned back on.
Okay.
I'm done. Yeah, we're good.
Fire protection charge then. Do we have a document for that, Jen?
Yeah, I put it in the packet.
I didn't see
It
it.
was up towards the beginning. It looks like this. I can pass mine over there.
Oh, okay.
It was like right after the minutes, I think.
I didn't get the minutes either.
Did you look at your email?
What?
Here, pass this.
Did you look
Did
at
you
your
get this
email?
one?
No?
I pass that to Mark. This was the item Denny brought up at a couple meetings, so I went and pulled the statute for you guys to review.
Okay, so this statute allows us to put a fire protection charge on everyone's bills to cover the cost of fire protection. I guess my question was, can we charge the fire district for the water they're using?
Well, they currently get they told me they currently get 2 bills. I don't know exactly how it's divided out. But they do pay 2 water
They
type
get
bills.
one minimum bill a year. They currently paid $234 for 2026.
Okay, maybe that's what they're referring
That's
to
it.
then.
But they're just paying the minimum charges
Yeah.
and not the.
We don't know how
Because they're
much
not
water
metered
they're
yet.
using because there's no meter.
Is that because we can't do that legally, or is that because we just haven't done it?
No, there is a statute that would allow you to tax them.
No, we're not taxing the fire department. The municipality would be taxing residents for a fire protection charge for water.
Thank you.
Callan's question is
Can we charge
if we can charge the fire department
for water?
More than once they've been
for
washing.
all water usage.
No comment.
What was that?
I said more than once they've been washing private vehicles there.
How does it work with them filling pools?
They charge for that. There's a form. Joe actually just asked me for the current form yesterday and I sent it to
But
him.
I mean, so they charge for it, do we get the money?
Yes, they
They
turn
pay
in
us,
the
yeah.
form
Okay.
with the resident name, how much water it was, and they can do the math there, and then they collect the money and turn it into us.
Okay.
And believe me, people will let me know if they see somebody getting a pool fill and ask if I got them paid for it. So
Yeah, I mean, what I would like to look into is just.
it's not a lot, but
Is metering the fire district.
If for nothing else, to just know what the usage is.
Right.
And make sure that it's not 2 million gallons a quarter.
if they have a fire and they hook up to a fire hydrant, Public Works has asked them to please, for filling the tank or whatnot, has asked them to please notify that they used it, because Public Works can look at the usage numbers for that date and time frame,
Mhm.
the date, and be able to tell how much water
We
they
can tell
approximately used.
the amount of water as it went out.
Yeah,
They just need to
comparing how
know
much the
it
spike
happened.
was,
Yeah,
like compared to baseline.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
because they hook up to the hydrant for those fills.
Yeah, presumably we can't charge them for that.
I don't know. I can, I'll,
I don't think.
I think we can, I think we'd be one of the only
uh,
ones around. I mean, you need fire protection.
Yeah.
And for that, you need water.
Right.
If they're putting out a fire, I mean, ethically, that doesn't seem right to charge them for the water they're using to put out a fire. That doesn't.
Right, but if somebody wanted to come along and open up the tap to wash their car, we should probably be charging for that. So,
Well, I'll give you my take on that for being in the fire department for 48, 50 years. I felt if a fireman wanted to come wash his car, it's not getting paid to do the rest of the fire department job. I don't think it's out of the way that the village should supply a few gallons of water for him to wash his car.
I think they,
Because
I think
you're not doing it. You're not putting your time in at the fire station like this fireman is. So he got a little water, but man, he put some time in.
They're getting paid now too.
yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I also am of the mind that like the fire district has its own taxing district. They get their own money, you know. I don't
Even
think
more
it's-
now.
I don't think it's
They
on,
do, they do.
I don't think it's on village ratepayers or taxpayers to let that guy wash his car, you know, so.
I always thought that was a gift to that guy because he was giving up his time. I can't, in the 40-some years that I was there, I can't tell you how much it cost me to be there. 'Cause I paid for a lot of stuff out of my own pocket, and I think Richard did when he was there, and there's needs to be some give and take with it. So should we meter the water use they have? Yeah, maybe we should do that.
And I wouldn't, I guess to say that, to put the meter on, it would be to help us reel in what's actually being used in reality, not, I understand about the fire department and they use water, but
You made a very good point that water could be going out like the house we had up here.
sure,
We had a problem at the fire station. It was with storm water, but it was eroding under the floor, so there being a meter there for that, to check to make sure we don't have a toilet running or a water main, or a water line, not main, water line break.
Yeah.
Would be beneficial for them also, I believe.
absolutely.
And
And I'm not just saying the fire department, the other,
I'm, right.
the other,
The other 6 buildings.
yes, sure.
5 buildings.
I severely doubt if the township would use that 1,000 gallons a quarter. It really surprised me if you use that kind of water. The Masons, that would surprise me. You know, it was set up to give these non-government units a little break so they could do that.
Sure.
I don't know, we don't have a meter on at the Lions Club either, I don't believe.
The only one out of the 6 is the Masons have a meter. It's a very old meter. It's the only one building with a meter.
But the meter doesn't read, so they might as well not have one.
Correct.
I guess I don't feel that putting a meter on those buildings is wrong. But I think we wanna watch for, I guess what I'm saying is maybe the taxpayer can stand paying a little bit to keep the Lions Club going, or the Masons, or even the fire district, the fire department. Then again, that's up to you guys, but it's just,
I like almost all those organizations. I think they should all be metered. You know, it's easy to give away other people's money, so.
and by the other token, it's always pretty easy to get services from somebody that you're not paying for too.
Right.
So I think the Lions and the Legion, well, the Legion's gone. And the Masons and I just think there's things that if we look at the price we're charging for water, we're not giving a lot of money away. And for what the civic groups do for the community, I think it's worth that.
We could still charge the annual, but we can at least, they'd be radio pulling the reads anyways if a meter's installed, so we can at least monitor the reads.
Yeah.
For
I think that's a good idea. that we
abnormal
have-
usage.
Yeah, if
There's
nothing
something
else,
for-
I think we need to monitor where the water's going. So.
I think we're gonna find out there's not much going in any of those places,
So probably, but
but then we'll know for sure, I
then
guess.
we'll know.
So
All
then
right.
the other thing over time, not tonight, to decide is, does the municipality wanna put a fire protection charge on everybody's bill? Based on that statute? Cause that would be us charging the fee, not the fire department, that would be us doing another fee.
Okay, I mean, I don't know about having a separate fire protection charge, I don't know exactly what that does.
And I'll reach out and see if any of the clerks that are part of the main clerk group, municipal courts of Illinois, if any of them charge it, what responses I get.
Ultimately, people are gonna pay the amount of money that it costs the village over the time to service the water, so. Moving on. Appropriations. I believe Jen sent draft appropriations.
Should have the blue line spreadsheet. Oh, I had an extra one.
The dog ate it.
Which one? Thanks, Denny.
Okay,
So Angie can speak to it mostly, but this is numbers as of April 30th, end of fiscal year. For the fiscal year 26 expenses.
Is there anything on there that is really out of line with what our expectations were?
Payroll, salaries. I don't know why. I wasn't the one that figured the fiscal year 26 salary appropriations.
I wonder if part of that did that include Buddy's, SERS?
Well, no, because it's actually salary. Well, the 17,000. I don't know. I don't know how the fringes, which is IMRF, unemployment, payroll taxes. I don't know how fiscal year 26 numbers were figured.
I would think that.
I made sure for fiscal year 27, I accounted for the reality of fiscal year 26 plus a little.
I would think that IMRF payment probably is included in that 90,000 number.
It is.
I think it is, yes.
It is, but that's still not the total, almost $50,000 discrepancy between actual and appropriation.
Yeah.
So we still got approximately 30,000.
Well,
That's,
we gave out raises.
We did give out raises, yes.
that's your employee salaries, not the fringes.
Right. But
It did increase IMRF a little bit and payroll taxes,
Yeah, IMRF.
but we also lost some employees too, so it should have pretty much offset.
But we've got unemployment insurance now that we never had before.
In fiscal year 26, we paid $1,200.
Just started.
We never paid
We
it
pay it
before.
quarterly.
Yeah, so can we?
So I
figure
figured that into fiscal year 27.
out- Can we figure out that discrepancy then, why it's so much, the fringes are so much higher?
I think
For
that,
this year,
Yeah, for this past year,
for last year,
this past fiscal year.
I do not know why the appropriation was the number it was. That's the problem.
Okay,
I
so,
don't think it was the
I
expense, I think it
don't
was
think
the
the
appropriation.
appropriation was appropriate.
okay, appropriation is too low then.
Yeah.
the outside services contractors, that was a big difference between what we actually spent and what was appropriated, double, basically. Under contractual 543, outside services contractors.
So that would be Gray's total tree service for the demo of the building, tree removal, stump grinding, all the tree stuff in the lot next to the public parking lot. The new overhead doors at Public Works.
Installation.
A little bit of electrical stuff. The portable restrooms and hand wash stations all came out of 543. And the annual siren maintenance. And just the grays and doors right there is like $15,000 of it.
What's the budget line item? Is that the proposed budget for this coming fiscal year?
That's my number, yeah. You can change any of those. That was just what I did.
But we did also come in way below some of the appropriations, which I think, says something too about responsibility and.
Well, some of it, we have to appropriate for stuff like Privy Park.
If that grant
If the
comes
money
through.
for the Azlight grant comes in, we gotta have it appropriated.
But we don't have to have it as part of our budget.
No, we don't have it in the budget number.
That's down towards the bottom, 635.1, where the appropriation would be 225,000 and the budget would be, currently it's 6,500 basically. And that's for the existing grant stuff we're working out, finishing out.
You can make that appropriation number whatever you want. It winds up being the budget number is the one you gotta look at.
Right.
The appropriation number, you can put in there and
We need to appropriate if the grant starts getting spent, so that's what that is.
And this view is essentially this one goes in general fund and then the water fund and then the sewer fund. So whereas this one goes general water
Single line.
sewer is on one line. So it collects like salaries. When you look at this salaries in the general fund, it's much different than on here because
It's
salaries come out of
Yeah.
general water and sewer.
All right. Did everyone get the document with my proposed budget?
Guess who didn't?
I don't have that
Maybe
one.
two.
Because it was dated December of 25, so the expense numbers on there are 4 months short of the actual dollars.
Okay, so the
You were
expense,
using an old version of the report.
so the expense numbers are what, April through December then?
Yes.
Okay.
No, May 1st through December 31st.
Okay.
You're missing January, February, March, and April.
Okay. I thought it was
you're missing a quarter.
I thought it was January 1st to December 31st.
No,
Oh.
It should be, but it's not.
fiscal
That
year is
changes
May
things.
1st through,
All right,
yeah.
forget it.
We can't change it.
So when I sent it out, I said that in a note on the email because it skews some of the budget numbers you put.
Yeah.
But on this sheet, this fiscal year expenses is 100% accurate. I went through it line by line and went and did the report. And
Okay.
so this is 100% of the fiscal year in each of those categories.
Okay.
I think in years past, we've had so much money coming in, grants and going out. I think we really need to look at the 26 expenses and appropriate from that expense, but, make your appropriation from there, whether it's, I don't know. Tax and accounting, let's go there. It was appropriated 7,000, we spent 1,900. Why don't we appropriate 3,000 for it and keep our appropriations down?
What's a Shabbona Public Library only appropriated by the village?
Because of the type of public library they are, we do their appropriation and their tax levy.
They,
The municipality does,
they
per
do all
state
the
statute.
figuring, they just send it to us and we send it in. for
Because of
them.
the type of library they are, by state statute, the municipality has to appropriate and levy for them.
We don't have to put any money into
No,
it, but we
no.
have to do the
All it is
appropriation.
numbers on paper, it is not actual money
Actually, yeah.
the municipality pays.
I mean, I don't even understand how it's possible we only spent $1,900 on tax and accounting.
So that includes the annual W-2s and 1099s. And that number can vary if there's corrections that have to be made. 2025 was a good W-2 preparation. And it includes the monthly reconciliation calls with the accountant from Locust to reconcile the system 100%. Angie's done excellent. It used to cost us an average of $250 to $350 a month. And our average month is between $35 and $125 now. So that is why it used to appropriate so high. I have left it appropriated high, but I mean, we can lower it.
Do you have a listing?
I budgeted 2,500. I appropriated
Did you print-
6,500.
Did you print out one of those for 530?
Yeah.
Can we figure out then how the expenses broke down by fund and then appropriate amount?
I got another question on the library. Sorry to interrupt.
I don't answer
I'm not
questions about the library anymore.
Well, I do, because if they're sending paperwork in, are we charging them labor to do the paperwork?
They don't. All they do is send Angie an email and say, "Please appropriate this much for us. Please, here's our tax levy for this for your ordinance."
But no, we don't charge the library.
Okay.
I've asked about that, why the village has to do the appropriation for another taxing body. And all I get is, we do. I mean, there's no way that we can't do that.
He even verified that with Dominic.
Because see, it was a township library, the township would have to do it.
So I made a note to reappropriate tax and accounting based on fiscal year 26.
I mean, other than that, does anybody else see any red flags in the appropriations?
Our appropriations can be just what's on the sheet here, and that's fine, but I want to make sure the budget number is what we're looking at, not the appropriation number. Because I feel in the past, village board members looked at that appropriation number and thought, man, we can spend that.
Yeah, no. That's why we're in the predicament we're in.
Well, I think that's a large part of it. I think the numbers can get down on paper and get pretty big and everything look pretty good until it comes to writing the check.
Are we good to move on to?
So appropriations, are we
Budget on
saying
the
we
agenda.
don't,
Yeah.
Okay.
we're good the first week of June, we can put together the ordinance to have Dominic review?
Okay.
And then the ordinance would be presented to the board in the June meeting.
And the only thing we
Fine.
have to put out is the appropriation. We don't have to put out the budget.
Yeah, no, we just have to approve the appropriation ordinance in June.
Because
The budget's for internal use only.
appropriations has to be filed with the county.
So if anybody looks
That
at
has to be
this,
done by when? Next month?
yeah, we have to approve it at the June board meeting, the appropriations. So if you guys wanna look through, if you see anything in the next, by the end of the first week of June, what, June 5th? Let Angie or I know, so we can update, so we can put the appropriation ordinance together.
Okay. We got a new budget worksheet, so I guess I'll just ask everybody on this committee to work on the budget collectively. I shared a document, a Google Drive with you, Richard.
Right.
You want me to set it up like that? I can just put it on Google Drive and then we can share it. So,
If you want to use this, I can put this on the Google Drive as, in fact, I believe
Yes.
I have it on the Google Drive.
please, if you can, if you can share it with us.
I think I did.
I mean, like, share it in Google.
Yeah, I think I did.
I didn't get a,
No?
Didn't
No.
get an email.
As,
I know you shared it with me.
trustee Wells, right?
Callan Welsh.
trustee Callan Wilson.
Okay, all right, let me make sure that,
Yeah, you shared it with me, but I didn't have access to it.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Let me make sure the sharing settings are.
Right.
yeah.
Oh, you know,
So
want
it's
her
just
to
the
share out-
appropriations we have to have done by next month.
Correct.
Budget is internal.
Correct.
Alright.
The budget, once it's done, then it gets keyed into our accounting program, Locus. So then every month when Angie does the reports for expenses and revenues, mostly expenses, you'll see the budget for the fiscal year and the actual expense to kind of see where it's flowing.
And to my estimation, what I know, that's never been done before.
No.
That's why we're where we're at.
This year I learned how to use the budget thing. I had to use appropriation numbers because we had no budget.
Okay.
So at least we know how to use it now.
So I guess where we're at is we all need to look over the new sheet that has the full fiscal year numbers.
It's got the extra 3 ones.
Yeah.
So Angie will share both of those then from Google Drive.
Okay. So moving on then, annual wage review. I think the document you sent has 2 proposed wage increases. One is cost of living, the 2.8 COLA increase, and the other one is the CPI increase of 3.3. Is that right?
Other way around, I believe.
What was the first one?
First one's the COLA increase 2.8. The second one is CPI increase of 3.3.
Correct.
So I guess those are the 2 proposals.
What do we usually do? Is it a COLA?
In the past, annually, the board, since I've been with the village 8 years, the board has done COLA. Sometimes 5%, sometimes COLA, it's all over the place. It's up to the board. And there's nothing in writing that says increases have to happen, but every year we give the board an opportunity to review and see, in this case, the finance committee, to see and make, if you want to make a recommendation to the board one way or another.
I mean, the last round it was above COLA though, wasn't it?
Yes, because there were increases last year based on minimum wage, hiring new public works, hiring a treasurer, so there were wage across increases.
They were grossly underpaid.
But we lost a deputy village clerk and we lost the part-time public works guy.
Mm-hmm.
So those wages went into the average wage for the
That kind of absorbed all the increases.
people we're paying now.
So like everything else, you're trying to play catch up on,
We're trying to pay catch up, but I don't know. I sit in the office every day and watch, not every day, cause Angie's not there every day. But these 2 ladies, to me, do a phenomenal job. And we need to not reward them, we're certainly not, probably not paying them what they're worth, but we do need to increase their wage.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 guys we got in public works, I can't say enough about those 2 guys. There's so much more work getting done now than was done in the past. And it's not going out in the vendors that we're paying. They're doing the work. well 5 out here, we had a, I don't know, 8-inch pipe inside the well that was rusted and leaking. Before we'd have called somebody in to do it. Our public works guys did it. They put the pipe in. I mean, it's just, it's amazing what they've done there. They're down in Lions Park. Today, they got the playground equipment put in. They did it. We didn't have to hire anybody to do it. Out here at the door, they did that. It's amazing.
Without you even knowing it too.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. I told them what I wanted to do, and they had it done before I come back from your meeting, and said, well, maybe we put the canvas thing up like at a funeral or
Yeah.
whatever. They already had it figured out, so I'm not gonna stop.
Fair enough.
And that should have been done years ago, so the door didn't get blown off once a year. It's just amazing the amount of work those two guys are doing that hadn't been done before.
And with that said, they're saving us money by
Oh,
not having to have contractors come in and do the
I'd
work.
hate to guess what they're saving us. But then again, we're in the fiscal constraints that we're in. I don't know, if we do a COLA or, I don't know, I think the sheet I saw, the two maintenance guys get about 95 cents an hour. So that's roughly $4,000 a year between the two of them, and off the top of my head, I don't remember what.
$1.10 for CPI.
So, whatever you guys wanna do, but I do think they need a raise and, well, I wish we could pay them what they're worth. I mean, if these guys were on,
Make a recommendation to the board.
It'll be in the June agenda, cause it's not on the agenda for tomorrow or Thursday.
I think a cost of living adjustment is fair.
And then on the spreadsheet, it's got snow plowing overtime, and in my appropriation, I bumped that up to $5,000.
They push that down.
Payroll costs have gone up.
They actually put out a regular number. Everybody in the US would get a bump that's on Social Security, and we couldn't afford that. So they push that number to a ridiculous level. I mean, that's not right.
You don't have to convince me that these numbers are mistakes.
the CPI number, that's what we took as far as our taxes, our real estate tax that we took. We took the CPI number because you can either get the CPI or 5%, whichever is less. And I do remember you complained about us taking that CPI number in taxes, but then we gotta come up with this money somewhere. And we didn't get enough from the CPI and the real estate taxes to pay wages, increase wages. So, I guess if you wanna hear my thought on that, I'm gonna tell you anyway. We're paying the sheriff's department roughly 20 hours a week to patrol here. And if we cut that back to 16 hours a week, we can pay wages. We can pay increases in wages with that money. Do we wanna do that? I don't know. But that's a place where there's some money that can be used towards our employees' wages.
I would still argue that given the current realities of the situation, the cost of living adjustment is fair.
And what's the difference again? The CPI is what and the COLA is what?
2.8 versus 3.3. COLA's the 2.8.
COLA is the 2.8?
Mhm.
I mean, I thought it was the CPI. Tiebreaker?
I'm saying, was TPI 3.3?
Yeah.
That's what I would go with. If they're doing above and beyond what we had before, and they're saving us money, not in the long run, every day. So you're gonna make up more than that in the long run. Just saying.
Well, we will decide at the board meeting, so.
Absolutely. It's not like we're voting on it here.
No,
No,
that'll,
you just bring back a recommendation to the board, you know.
and that'll be for the June board meeting, not,
Yeah.
not this week.
Fair enough.
Well, that's all we got. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. How about you, Denny?
Sure.
Meeting is adjourned.
We got 3